Hello, and welcome to the War in the Pacific. Where is the 21st of March, 1942, in the Wirraway versus Encircled play-by-mail campaign. I apologize for the uh, long break between this video and the last ones. I went to Italy over the holidays and then caught the flu on the way home. So I've been up for a couple weeks. We're going to catch up. Also, my voice is a little hoarse coming off the flu, but we'll get through this. Usual Allied bombardment of Jaffna. This turn may see the end of our uh, abortive attempt to take Ceylon. You may have seen that notice about equipment lost. We're moving troops from Port Moresby to follow-on operations in the South Pacific. So far, the Allies have not attempted to intervene, though they know we're there. His sweep suggests he's going to go after the second echelon troops outside of Nagpur. We'll see. Again, it's almost impossible to long range cap successfully over your advancing troops without just becoming a slaughter uh, against his sweeps. Sally's suppressing the airfield at Balikpapan as we wrap up our Borneo campaign here. Bombers hitting the airfield at Lanchao to slow or stop fort building. Uh-oh. Not sure. This will be a slaughter. Not sure what happened to my escorts or sweeps, should say. Falcons attempting to disrupt my esoteric, and I don't think that's going to be effective. Interesting. He went after the bulk of the troops at Nagpur instead of where his sweeps came in. I guess because he's capped over Nagpur, he didn't feel the need, which makes sense. Didn't feel the need. You can't sweep that hex, so. Okay, pretty quiet turn. At least in the air. Or I should say, unsurprising turn in the air. Lots of air activity, but it's like we're getting close here at Lanchao. And ready at Manila. Everyone's sided against us in terms of the bombardment. Close at Karakan. Allies bombard. There's suspected end of our aborted attempt at Ceylon. Okay, paratroopers. Say, so there was a Dutch patrol aircraft there, which we suspected. Nothing there. Nothing there, so just doing final mop up before passing the carriers through this area. Okay, we'll speed through the end of the turn. Let's check and see if anything unusual. This is all our or Sonia's. Might as well look and see what happened there. Ah, I misset. Fighters were escorting it. Clark, not Manila. Okay, that makes more sense. Let's take a look here while we're see how our divisions are doing. Decent shape. So I think we can reform and take Manila, it looks like. These operations on Quellen continue to evolve. Let's check the condition of our units at Lanchao. In good shape. So maybe a shock attack will do it now at Lanchao. Take a look and see how bad the units are doing here. Let's see, the 4th Division's pretty disrupted. So it's the 21st. Artillery's beat up. 18th is in good shape. It's down a few squads. 15-centimeter howitzers are getting abused, as are the 10-centimeter howitzers by the enemy. Only really these T-89 guns that can come close to matching the range of the enemy artillery. Talked about that before. Second division's all in good shape. Sixth tank's pretty good. So on all, these units are in decent shape, so you can see even in clear terrain, allied air power is important, but at this point in the war, not decisive. Nevertheless, we're going to have, as we've talked about multiple times, going to have to get this blocking position in place here and then begin withdrawing and reorganize an attack along using a different approach. 5th Division And the second tank is still a couple turns from being in position. Not a huge issue in terms of timing. Okay, so we're reorganizing for an attack on Ceylon with adequate forces, and including building up Fort Blair as a intermediate base. Check on the progress of our carriers. Our main Cardiffs 1 and 2 with Ruho are about to enter into the Celeb Sea. I think what I'll do now that it looks like I found the last of his patrol aircraft with the last paratroop drop. And with the fall of Terracon pretty imminent, I might run the carriers this way instead of the southern route. He still has a couple patrol aircraft at Balikpapan. So assuming Terracan falls the next turn or two, which it should, he doesn't have any patrol aircraft currently operating in and around the Zulu Sea. So again, this may end up being the more subtle route. Let's check, see how the loading here is going. So ways to go. Again, at the moment, he hasn't attempted to intervene. Got some naval construction units that I want to get into Wallace Island to continue its buildup. Otherwise, nothing particularly unusual here. Let's just check in on the Aleutians. It's like he's building up Cold Bay. We've already seen this. Nothing new at Dutch Harbor. Nothing at Umnak currently. Okay. Well, it should be some relatively important land battles here in the next day or two as we try to finish off the Lanchow operation and get our armor pushing on towards the Chungking Plain, driving the Americans and the Filipinos out of Manila and back into Clark, which has the added advantage of we only have to deal essentially with a couple airfields as he jumps his fighters back and forth. In Burma, we're beginning to maneuver on the few remaining bases and his forces here, but eventually, of course, drive them out of Burma entirely, while taking Ledo eventually also to wrap, put a bow around the trap in China, really cut off China from any significant, any support really. That is the strategic purpose, primary strategic purpose behind our India campaign in the Calcutta region, along with capturing the heavy industry in Calcutta. But it's the isolation, full isolation of China that is the strategic imperative. Okay, well, sorry again for the long break between videos, but I'll get three or so more out today, I expect. So looking forward to our next chance to talk.